Oba Femi. If you are sleeping on this name, well, wake up. Or Femi's about to flip that proverbial bed and wake you up on his own. He might just be the next big WWE superstar. The it factor is all over him. Let's break down his storming rise up the ranks that is still rising and does not seem to be stopping anytime soon, and how this towering 6'6", 310-pound dominator who seemingly walked off the pages of a comic book into a wrestling ring can take over the WWE. This is Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kevin Kellum. Tell us what you want to see happen with Oba Femi in the future. Who do you see as the next big breaking superstar in wrestling? Get in the comments and let us know. And subscribe for more videos just like this. Well, the trajectory is already there. If you want to make it on Raw or SmackDown in WWE, you've likely got to cut your teeth in NXT. Well, Oba Femi breaks people's teeth in NXT. Yes, he's been dubbed the ruler of NXT, and if you haven't been following NXT, we'll catch you up. He's everything you would want in a dominant top WWE superstar in the making. He is yet to be seen by the mainstream eyeballs of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, but WWE NXT's color commentator and WWE Hall of Famer in his own right, Booker T, feels that it's time for Femi to get the call up, saying, "I can tell you this, Oba has done a hell of a job in NXT, and if it's time for him to move on, it's the right time." He's been ready for a while now, but it only seems to be a matter of when WWE decides to unleash him for their global audience to take in. And boy, oh boy, when he arrives, it's going to be huge. Believe us, the hype is real. Oba Femi was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and has been a wrestling fan since his childhood, and had his favorites in The Undertaker and Triple H. He grew to have a naturally gifted size of over 6'6", took on athletics, specifically in track and field, where he captured SEC titles in 2021 and 2022 for the University of Alabama after migrating to the United States. He is one of the first prominent success stories of WWE's NIL program, designed to recruit college athletes and convert them into future WWE pro wrestlers. He moved to the WWE PC following his graduation. His first official match was in November of 2022. Now, obviously, the NIL program is something that wrestling purists online have criticized, claiming it's somehow an unfair path for these college standouts to be recruited right away into the prepping system for WWE's big leagues instead of plying their craft on the independent circuit, despite the fact that WWE continues to still recruit independent wrestlers in different ways. Oba Femi showed very quickly that he's simply not just a college athlete who got a sweetheart deal. He is one of those guys that showed quickly why he was going to raise at the ranks in WWE's Performance Center. Even in the initial stages, with his heavyweight frame, projecting energy in the ring, and a passion for the craft, obviously the comparisons to other athletes who took to wrestling so quickly, like a Kurt Angle or a Brock Lesnar, who had collegiate wrestling and Olympic wrestling in their pedigree and background. Yeah, he was like them, but you could also say there's a level of John Cena, who simply through sheer hard work and grinding became an all-time great. He has a little bit of both of those categories in him. Those very high up the chain in NXT clearly saw the potential in him, because within a few matches of his televised wrestling career, just a few matches, he won the NXT Breakout Tournament in 2023. That's less than a year after his first match ever, and became a #1 contender for the NXT North American title soon after that. And I don't think you're going to be surprised when I tell you he won the WWE NXT North American title, becoming the longest reigning champion with that championship in its short lineage, ever so far. And how many talents can say they won a title the first time they got a crack at one? He lost the title to Tony D'Angelo, and it snapped a 30-match winning streak. Yeah, not everyone gets to be Goldberg, but still, 30 matches in modern TV wrestling is nothing to blink at. Yeah, it was only a blip on the windshield of his career so far. It was a stepping stone to becoming NXT champion for 263 days. Immediately, he was at the top of the food chain amongst WWE's youth bracket. It was hard to imagine imagine anybody dethroning him, because he ran through some of the most promising young talents in WWE, including Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, even defeating non-WWE talents like Moose from TNA and Yoshiki Inamura from Pro Wrestling Noah. Ricky Saints, jumping over from All Elite Wrestling, finally put an end to Oba Femi's reign with the NXT Championship, and it effectively concluded the biggest part of his run so far. It's still unclear whether he's going to stick around a little while longer in NXT or make the leap very, very soon. He could return and regain the NXT Championship from Ricky Starks. Yeah, they had a well-received match at No Mercy. People loved it, and it's bound to be something he can always do. The only issue here is when it comes to call-ups from NXT to the main roster, there is quite literally one determining factor that stands out: timing. You can be the most ready NXT superstar, but if the roster isn't ready for you, the right role at the right time, you're likely going to find yourself on the sidelines or maybe in a lower ranking supporting role that doesn't play off the hype you've already developed. Yeah, it may not be a bad thing for Oba Femi, because right now the main roster is completely stacked and quite competitive at all different levels. New faces are definitely going to help, but like we see in the cases of stars like Julia, there's no point in bringing in new names without any concrete plans. We doubt that WWE is simply going to call up Oba Femi just to have another new name. They want to have another name that everyone's going to be talking about sooner or later. He needs to be that guy who makes that type of debut that you can't turn away from. He already has the head-turning test in an airport lounge, so yeah, that classic one still plays here. So this is one that WWE really needs to execute on, and when he comes up to the main roster, put him up there with the biggest names right away. Doesn't mean he has to win, he just needs to be shown on the level of someone like Brock Lesnar. It's entirely possible that he becomes the new leader of the Vision, Brock Lesnar, or has some significant role in WWE moving forward as he's a part of the marketing for the upcoming WrestleMania 42. But Oba Femi tangling with Brock Lesnar, he would have one of his rare physically comparable challengers, and it would make something special. And Brock Lesnar in recent years seems to have taken some joy in getting in there with younger superstars that have the same physical, larger-than-life proportions. The challenge here, though, is if he does go after someone big right away like Brock Lesnar, it's hard to see Oba Femi being in anything else except maybe the world title picture. He doesn't need a world title to go after Lesnar, but you kind of know what we're saying here. If he's going for the big dogs, he's going to stick with the big dogs. You can also have him go after a Gunther-style run of dominance, maybe a modern-day Goldberg. Yeah, he had that winning streak before. Give him another one here on the main roster. We're not saying it needs to be 666 days with the Intercontinental Championship, but one thing is for sure: Oba Femi is inevitable, and seeing him as a dominant performer in the 2020s is believable. In the 2000s, we had Brock Lesnar play that kind of role, and 2 decades on, we may finally find his successor as the next big thing. He doesn't need to be a copycat of Brock Lesnar, because he's not a copycat of Brock Lesnar. He has his own vibe, his own style, his own personality. WWE may use the same blueprint, there may be the same dance steps to redefine that type of character in today's WWE with Oba. There is, and always is going to be room for big, larger-than-life wrestling stars who can crush everybody. And all WWE needs to do is tell the right story, and they've got the next big megastar on their hands. As always, thank you very much for watching, and let us know what you think of Oba Femi.